Welcome to This Week in Android News. I'm This Week in Android News. Before we start the news, I'd like to make an announcement. So last week, I was recruited by a recently launched website called droidnerds.com, which all of you should visit. I was recruited to write articles and make videos. The website is looking pretty good right now, and I'm guessing within the next couple of weeks, it will grow into a very fantastic website for everything relating to Android. I'm posting links to the website in the bottom bar, and so go there after this video. That is all. Now, news time. And it's app news time. This week was pretty fantastic for apps, I must say. First off, as news is my specialty, I have to give a shout out to Time Magazine, which finally launched an app for our favorite little game robot. It's a feature-packed Asda version for iOS, and I would highly recommend going and downloading this bad boy. It's in the Android market, of course. It was like, as soon as Amazon launched its Kindles app, everyone else decided that they better do it too. So, this week, Barnes & Noble has released its Nook e-reader app for Android. Is it weird that I've downloaded every single major e-reader app? Groupon, the local deal finder app, which has been pretty popular on the iPhone, has finally listened to its user base and ported their app over to Android. It's pretty solid and not too shabby for finding some really good deals in your area. So go grab it from the Android market. And AOL has cozied up some more by releasing 2 new Android apps. The first is called simply AOL, and it's literally a portal to their other apps and a little bit of a news thing. Then it released Daily Finance, which all of you could probably guess what it is. These 2 apps further solidify AOL's relationship with Android. I mean, what is that, like 6 Android apps? So basically, Geico said that they were going to release an Android app like the one they have for iPhone on Android in the next second week of August, they said. It's supposed to be pretty good for all you Geico users. Geico. PSX for Droid has finally been released. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a PlayStation emulator, which, I should add, works fantastic on high-end Android phones. Go get it now. It's totally worth it, and it supports multi-touch and all that junk. And it's tablet news time. And I'm happy, because reports are coming in from a reliable source at Motorola that Motorola has said that they will release a 10-inch Android 3.0 running tablet by November. I'm going to have a hard time deciding whether to get that or wait for the Google tablet to make their own. I'll probably get the Motorola one, or try to get both. Who knows? Either way, it's going to be pretty killer. So this next piece of news is about this. The Olive Pad, which I will say, again, stop naming yourself after the iPad, you are better than that. But look, I know what some of you may say, but dude, it's a phone. No, it's 7 inches with an 800 by 480 touchscreen. That's not a phone. That's a tablet. It can make phone calls, but that's still a tablet. Or a phone for Hagrid, which probably wouldn't exist because he lives at Hogwarts. But the tablet has some not bad specs. Besides that old Qualcomm MSN 7227, which only runs at 600 megahertz, but it probably can be overclocked. It runs on GSM/WCDMA, has a 3 megapixel camera, a front-facing camera, 512 megabytes of RAM, 512 megabytes of ROM, USB socket, Wi-Fi, 3.5mm jack, runs Android 2.1, and it's going to be around 20,000 rupees. Oh yeah, and it's only going to be releasing in India currently, with Europe being a possibility. And finally, in more of a phone that's actually really a tablet, the Dell Streak will be launching later this month, and hopefully I can get my hands on it somehow to review it with a video or something. Such a big screen looks pretty damn cool. Now, finally the moment you've all been waiting for. It's phone news time. So European carrier Orange has recently decided to launch its own self-branded phone called the Tactical Internet, whatever that means. It's pretty low-end, running Android 2.1, has a 2.8-inch QVGA touchscreen, all those connectivity options, 3.2 megapixel camera with 3.5mm headphone jack, 256 megabytes of ROM, and it's thin and stuff. G1 name will never die. T-Mobile will never let it. That would be the HTC Vision is the thing you're seeing there. And it looks like HTC took the hint after I refused to report on that leaked pic of that kind of phone, because this phone looks really solid. That keyboard looks superb, and T-Mobile is reportedly going to call it the G1 Blaze, and Blaze it will probably do. The Acer Stream is a very attractive phone to some, and luckily for them, that phone will be launching on August 9th instead, but it's still £399. Still has that 1 GHz processor, Android 2.1, and other sweet stuff. So if you want it, go and get it. If you live in England. HTC has officially adopted Super LCD screens since Samsung's apparently not really giving people their AMOLED LEDs. Well, yeah, they don't look as good. They are comparable, they say, but with the only real benefit being that better battery life. That's kind of a drag. So Epic 4G might actually be coming out by the end of August 20th maybe even. Now those are just rumors, but let's see if an announcement will be coming for that soon. I don't know, but I think Koreans love the Galaxy S. I mean, they did sell over 500,000 Galaxy S phones in South Korea in a month. That is a lot of phones in that country, where apparently 200,000 phones is a lot. Bravo, Samsung. Bravo. And that Motorola i1, Android's first push-to-talk phone, is now available for Sprint Online for $149 with a new 2-year contract. I'm going to be interested to see how well that sells. Can't imagine it doing that well. Taiwan will be getting the phone formerly known as the Motorola Greco, but is now known as the Quench XT3. Its specs are pretty average. It's running Android 1.6, has a 3.2-inch HVGA display, 600 MHz Qualcomm processor, and supports an SD card. But I don't really live in Taiwan. So some specs have been leaked about a Samsung Galaxy S phone called the Samsung Galaxy SQ, or Samsung Galaxy Q. That will have a BlackBerry-like form factor with full QWERTY keyboard, but here are the specs. 3-inch Super AMOLED LED display at 720x480 resolution, 1 GHz Hummingbird processor, 8 megapixel camera with LED flash, 1.3 megapixel front-facing camera, Android 2.2 and 16 gigabytes of internal storage, and goodbye BlackBerry. It's time for some Droid news. So rumors are stating that the Droid will in fact launch as early as August 12th with a special edition R2-D2 version. So where the August 13th comes in is that will apparently be the start of its huge media push, and will probably also be the launch of the non-R2-D2 branded Droid. So I'm guessing that the R2-D2 Droid version is for Droid nerds only. See what I did there? Now subscribe to me and go visit that site. See you guys next week.